Hi, I'm Amy, and I love reading, reality TV, and running. I'm the mom to 2 daughters with a 5-year age gap, and who come from 2 different cultures.
And I'm Zoe. Cooking, baking, gardening, and shopping are the things I like to do during my spare time. I have a son and a daughter with a 5-year age gap who also come from 2 different cultures.
Hi, welcome back to A to Z Moms. Welcome to our Anything Goes segment. Amy, can you tell us about how your days have been lately?
Sure, well, my day started off weird. I had to go to the bank, and there was this really old man beside me, and instead of starting a conversation like a normal person saying
Yeah.
oh, hello, how's your day going? Good morning. He's like, your baby looks like man. I'm like, sorry, what, excuse me? It's like, your baby looks like man. Like, my baby's wearing a bright purple jacket. It's like, it's not helping. It's not working.
So purple's supposed to be for men?
Then he shared his life story about how he has no grandkids, but his children are very successful, but they just travel and they don't give him grandkids, and he's not happy about that. So I was
Goodness.
I was like, okay. It was awkward.
That's so random too.
It was so random. How was your day?
Oh, my weeks have been very colorful.
Yeah?
We've been sick pretty much the entire month. My son had croup and was sick for an entire week. And then after my son, my daughter got croup for an entire week again. And after a while, I thought I wasn't gonna get anything anymore. But then my son got fever again for one day.
I know.
And then he was fine. And then my daughter got the fever back again. And then after she was fine, I got sick. So I'm just recovering from the flu. So we haven't been able to really do anything or get out of the house the entire month. So this is the first day actually that I feel a lot more like myself.
I call this the depths of winter because I feel like no matter how many times you've gone through it, it's always hard. It never really gets easier. And like you said, illness is at its peak. And so you're not only at home because of the weather, but you're just home because everyone keeps getting sick.
Right,
Just
exactly.
mentally taxing.
I know. And I honestly don't know what I'm going to do when I go back to work in September. When everyone's getting sick all the time. And not just for one day, for several days. Because if you're in one household, chances are everyone in the household is going to get sick.
I know, my husband got norovirus, and it was like,
Oh, no.
you know how guys have man flu, and
Yeah.
sometimes you're like, I don't know how bad this actually is.
Yeah.
So we just started renovating our kitchen. We're doing a new IKEA kitchen. And I think our ceiling's 94 inches tall, and we bought these cabinets that are 90 inches tall. And we stood them up on the wrong side of the beam.
Oh.
And so we're like, how do we get this down? Because there's not even enough room to tip it.
Oh,
And then right at that minute, my husband's like, my stomach feels a little rumbly. And I'm like, you're just trying to get out of this. You're just trying to leave me alone with this problem. And then he started projectile vomiting. It was so bad. It was in a movie. And then for the next 2 hours, he was in the bathroom, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then he's like, why do you always start these projects when I'm sick? I'm like, for the record, I started it before you got sick. But anyways.
Oh my god. Everyone's just sick, hey?
My oldest daughter never gets anything. She always brings everything home.
So she didn't get sick at all?
No, not at all.
That's amazing.
My younger baby got it a little bit, mildly, and I got it for maybe 3 or 4 hours, but that was enough for me.
Yeah.
So kind of in the same boat, just tons of illness have been
my
going around as
goodness.
well. And also we've been, on a positive note, that we've been celebrating some birthdays as well.
Right, yeah, so thank God that she actually wasn't sick during her birthday.
Yeah.
But then the next day she got the fever again.
Oh, so it's a 1 day break.
I know, so I'm so happy at least we were able to celebrate her birthday.
Did she like cake, or did she get to try sweets for the first time?
No, because she was just so tired when we came home.
So she hasn't tried yet?
No, she didn't try any cake.
Aw. What do you think what did she seem most excited about with her birthday? Just the presents, or just
Honestly, we really kept it low key.
Nice.
We just had the professional photos done.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, and then we just had cake. Literally, that was it.
I love that.
Yeah, just
That's
because it's different when you have one kid versus 2 kids.
Totally.
With my first kid, we did a lot more because I had a lot more time and energy. But at the end of the day, it was amazing, but really it was just for us. because the baby doesn't really know anything yet, right? And we did a photo shoot for my son's first birthday as well. At least that one he can see when he gets older. So I figured with my daughter we'll do the same thing as well. But other than that, I didn't have the time or energy to do something bigger.
On the way here, I was actually thinking about how, like, when you have 2 or more kids, the chance of you ever being done all your to-do list is next to 0.
Right.
There's so many days I wake up and I just feel like I'm drowning in a list of to-dos, and I'm a pretty organized person, and so is Zoe too. Like, we're both, I would say, pretty type A. Yeah. But like, there's so many times I've dropped balls this last year since my baby was born, my second baby, that I'm just like learned to be really good at apologizing to people and just like asking for grace, asking for some flexibility and some slack, which has actually been a good lesson, I think. Yeah,
and for me, what I do is like I try to write everything down that I need to do.
Totally.
Because I don't want to keep that in my brain, because my brain space, my brain cells isn't as great as it used to be. I forget a lot of things now.
Goes downhill with each kid. Doesn't ever quite come back.
So it's really good if I write stuff, so that way I'm not constantly thinking of it, because if I'm constantly thinking of it, then it just makes me stressed.
Totally.
So it's good if I'm writing it down. But yeah, so other than us getting sick all the time, my daughter also had her first year vaccines. So it was 3 vaccines that was given to her, 2 on one arm and 1 on the other arm. So that gave her a fever as well. So she had a fever for almost 2 days from the vaccines. So I didn't really get a break from kids getting a fever.
I know. It seems like every time we texted, you're like, someone else has a fever. I'm like, what? Wasn't this just like a few days ago the fever started? You're like, it's back. I'm like, oh my gosh.
And it's funny because looking back when I was younger, before I was married and before I had kids, I always have coworkers that are off because they're sick. And I always wondered, how is it possible that they're always sick? You know, like I was always wondering why they're always sick. But now I know, because I'm in the same boat.
Kids,
yeah, exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
I have also been celebrating my oldest daughter's birthday. Her official birthday is coming up, but it's a big birthday year because it's my other daughter's first birthday, and then this daughter's kindergarten class, and like they have a really good group of kids, and most of them have invited everyone to their parties, which has made like the parties big. Few of them had at-home parties, which I didn't really want to do in the middle of winter with like the height of sickness and having a baby at home. Like I just was like, I don't really love those odds.
Yeah, totally.
So we did a couple different things. We did like a bowling thing with our family friends, and it was like a Despicable Me theme because she loves Minions.
Yes, I'm so sad that we weren't able to go.
I know,
because my son was sick.
I actually found some really cool party favors for that one. It was like these little wooden cutouts of the Minions, and then it came like packaged with paints and a paintbrush. So it was like a little craft.
Okay.
Because the thing I struggle with party favors is like so many of them are really junky.
Right.
And you're just kind of like, I hate the idea of just like giving people more plastic that's just going to go straight in the garbage can.
Yeah.
And then when I left home today, we were doing loot bags for her like school birthday. And then this sounds like very out of control now that I say it out loud, but that's okay. And then she's having a party for her kindergarten class at like this indoor botanic garden, which should be fun. But yeah, like thinking about loot bags and stuff, it's really fun to do one that's like all a color theme. Like that's a way to make a unique loot bag that's really cute. So the one she's doing for that's all yellow. So it's like a happy face maze, like yellow suckers, like little mini rubber ducks. And it like actually turned out so cute. Okay. And a lot of people just do like stickers because the kids like to put different stickers in their sticker books, like candy, stickers, like little games. We did like, I think yo-yos, we did like a stencil ruler, like all that stuff is good because they'll actually somewhat use it. I feel like eventually every kid's toy will kind of get trashed, but eventually it's like maybe they'll use it for a few minutes at least before it gets like discarded. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what loot bags are for, right? For them to enjoy for an hour and then it's gone.
Totally. I'm definitely looking forward to spring though. I felt like I woke up the other day and it was actually bright, and I like didn't remember how that felt.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's not so dark anymore.
I know.
In the afternoon, and that's amazing.
I know.
Speaking of like today's, I thought it was gonna be a great idea to take my kids for a walk because it was sunny out and it was +6.
So nice.
And it's nice, and you know I wanna take my daughter and my son out. So we went for a walk. I took the umbrella stroller because I didn't want to bring the regular stroller. The umbrella is just easy to open. So we went for a walk, and there's so much melted snow and ice. So the sidewalks, it was hard to push the stroller because we get stuck quite a bit. And like there's some areas where it's flooded about like this high, I guess. Yeah,
Wow.
this high, about this high. So I had to push the umbrella stroller really slow, otherwise the water is gonna get on the basket underneath.
Oh, right.
So our quick walk turned into almost, yeah, pretty much almost 2 hours because of that. And on the way back, I thought that, okay, we're gonna make it in time for my daughter's bedtime at 6 p.m. But that hill, the hill at the shortcut was so steep, and it was pure ice. So I'm like, there's no way I want to push the stroller up because I don't want to fall back down and bring the stroller with me.
Totally.
So we had to go back around again, and that added to the time. And then when we were close to my house, one of the neighbors' sidewalks was complete ice. And it was just so shiny and slippery. There was no way you can have a grip on it. My son actually slipped and fell. So yeah, I know. I felt so bad. Like he cried a little bit. And then after a while, I asked him if he's okay. And he says his back still hurts, but hopefully, he bounces back from that fast because he's young.
Oh yeah, he will.
He wasn't complaining about it later on, so that's good.
Speaking of snow, I realized I have a new phobia that I didn't realize. We had like a family fun day at our community league, and they had a horse-drawn sleigh.
Yes.
But it was really far back. Like you had to walk past the building, past the ice rink, and like the only way to get to it was to walk through deep snow. And I realized my fear is like walking through a snowy field of deep snow because like there's no quick way to get back. I know that sounds really stupid, but like the only way is to just keep going to whatever you need to go to. Because halfway through I'm like, I don't like this. Like it's like, like a foot up to your boots, whatever. I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah. And it's hard to walk too.
It is, and it like gets your heart rate up. Like it's such a workout, right?
Yeah. Same with pushing a stroller through melted snow and ice. It was the same thing. And then there's lots of gravel on the road as well, or on the sidewalk.
Totally.
And my poor daughter, because the stroller was just look, because there's no way that it's gonna be a smooth ride because of the snow and ice and the gravel on the sidewalk. 100%. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this day just turned into somewhat of a nightmare. Anyways, after my son slipped and fell, I had to call my husband, and I said, you just gotta come pick us up. It was only like a few houses down from...
Oh, he did come pick you up?
Yeah, he had to, because my daughter was crying, and my son was crying too because he slipped and fell, and I looked and it was still sheets of ice 10 houses down. So I'm just like, okay, it's already, I think it was already 6:15 at this point. So I thought, if I'm gonna power through this, it's gonna be another half an hour to do it safely. So I just called my husband and I said, we're about 10 houses away. Just come take us.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna spend another hour trudging through the snow to get home.
No.
And it was past my daughter's bedtime.
Exactly.
So I didn't get home till 6:30.
Sounds like a very long journey.
It's a very long journey, and that was just like around the neighborhood. I can't believe our fun, quick walk that we started turned into like 2 hours plus almost.
Speaking of long journeys, I forgot to tell you, we're renovating our kitchen right now. And the contractor's here right now, and he's like, oh, I need 2 pieces from IKEA.
Yeah.
And I had my youngest, like, I had to take her. My husband's not working from home today. So I'm like, this is going to be great. Let's take a baby in a bucket seat to IKEA, the warehouse. And I learned, like, when you get stuff for an IKEA kitchen, you can't pick it off the shelves of the warehouse. You have to go to the computer. And you have to search it, and then like it texts you a barcode. You pay through the barcode, and then you go to like the far side past returns, and they pick it for you. So they've got like a separate section of the warehouse for kitchen that I didn't even know about.
I didn't know that.
So it's fine because most of the stuff we ordered in bulk and had delivered to our house.
Right.
But there's like always just little nitpicky things or like small changes. Like if you're getting an IKEA kitchen, you will never go there just once and get everything. I've been there at least 10 times already, and I'm getting close to done, but I'm losing track of like which is on what receipt.
Can you drop me off meatballs next time?
Sure, I'll be back in a few days. So, but I had to get like this 8-foot long bar to suspend the cabinets on. So I had like 2 of those and these baskets and my baby in the bucket seat, and I kind of put like one of the baskets over the bucket seat because I was running out of space. And I was like, "You'll be okay. It's just like 3 seconds." I'm sure people are like, "What is this poor woman doing?" Because my contractor's Chilean and he's like still learning English. So I was trying to explain to him this whole process, and he just looked so overwhelmed. And I was like, "I'll go to IKEA. I'll bring you back the stuff. Don't worry." And it's like finally my house is starting to look less like an episode of Hoarders Buried Alive. Because it's like once we pulled out all the old cabinets, we just had to like kind of throw the stuff off to the side.
Right.
We had like big boxes with appliances in them, and like finally some of the appliances we returned got taken away today, and we got a bin and like threw a bunch of stuff in the garbage, and like feels like there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see your new kitchen.
I have no floor now. Like my floor even is ripped up. Like
I saw the picture,
It's like ripped down to the bones.
But that's gonna be so exciting. Like new flooring is exciting.
And we took down a wall, which my dad and husband were both like, "I don't know about this." And I was like, "Buckle up, boys," because I already started ripping off the drywall. They're both just like, "Ugh, not again." And now they're like, "Oh, we love it. It's great." I'm like, "Yes, you were not with me at the beginning, but now you're jumping on my bandwagon."
Yeah, because I think last time that I was at your house, I mentioned that. I said that, you know, if that wall is taken down, it's gonna make it look spacious.
So it was your idea.
I guess it was my idea. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're so smart. Well, I think that wraps up this episode, but we can't wait to share more of our motherhood mishaps with you, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.